The hardest thing about finding out what someone truly thinks of you is realizing that you might not be who you thought you were to them. The mirror shatters, and you stand there wondering if you ever really mattered. I used to believe in the kindness of people, but finding out what you really think of me felt like a cold slap in the face. It's as if all the moments we shared were a lie, and I'm left standing in the debris of my shattered heart. It hurts when you realize that your love and loyalty were never enough to win someone's true affection. I thought I knew you, but now I see the truth, and it leaves me questioning everything. Sometimes you discover what someone truly thinks of you only after they've walked away. In those moments, you wish you could go back and see their eyes again, not through the lens of regret, but through the truth. The most painful part of finding out how someone really feels about you isn't the hurt itself. It's the betrayal of your own trust in them. The truth cuts deeper when it shatters the image you've built in your mind. I thought I could handle the truth, but when I found out what you really think of me, it felt like an avalanche of emotions. It's like every moment we spent together suddenly lost its meaning. The worst feeling is realizing you gave someone everything: your time, your heart, your energy, and they never truly appreciated it. The truth doesn't just hurt, it changes everything. In the quiet moments after discovering the truth, your mind races with all the things you should have seen, all the signs you ignored. The pain isn't just in the revelation, it's in the regret of missing the truth along the way. Finding out what you really think of me felt like a wound opening in my chest. I didn't expect it to hurt this much, but the truth is often harder to digest than we're prepared for. The hardest part of knowing the truth about how someone feels is realizing that they never saw you the way you saw them. All the care, the love, the effort, wasted in a blink. When you find out the truth, it feels like a dream you never wanted to wake up from. The pain, the realization, the heartbreak, it all hits you harder than anything you've ever felt before. It's painful to see the truth for what it is, to realize the person you thought was your closest ally never truly valued you. It stings like salt on an open wound, and it takes time to heal. I didn't expect the truth to hurt this much, but when I found out what you really thought of me, it felt like my world came crashing down. I gave you my trust, but in the end, it wasn't enough. The most painful realization is not that someone doesn't love you, but that they never did. When I found out what you truly think of me, it tore apart everything I thought we had. It's an agonizing feeling when you realize that everything you thought was real was nothing more than a facade. The truth doesn't always set you free. Sometimes it just leaves you with more questions and more pain. The truth stings, but what hurts even more is how much you start doubting yourself. It's not just about what you've lost. It's about what you thought you had that was never really there. I wish I had known the truth sooner, but now that I see it, I can't ignore the pain of knowing how little I really meant. I've learned that sometimes love isn't enough to change the way someone feels about you. It's a bitter pill to swallow when you realize the person you trusted with your heart never cared for it the way you hoped. The truth doesn't always feel like closure. Sometimes it feels like an endless void. When I found out how you really felt, it was like the ground beneath me disappeared. It's like falling into a black hole, unsure of whether you'll ever be able to climb out. The silence between us now speaks louder than any words we've ever exchanged. I wish you could have been honest sooner, but now all I have left is the pain of knowing the truth. You never truly know someone until you see what they think of you when you're not around. The truth, though harsh, has a way of revealing things that no amount of time can hide. I spent so much time wondering where I went wrong, but the truth is, I never went wrong. I just wasn't enough for you, and that's a hard truth to swallow. Finding out the truth felt like watching a movie where you thought you knew the ending, only to discover that the twist was more painful than anything you could have imagined. I thought I was loved, but discovering the truth about how you really feel has shown me how blind I've been. It's not just the hurt, it's the realization that love isn't always what you think it is. There's a moment when the truth hits you, and you wonder if you ever really knew them at all. The love you thought existed was just a mirage, and now you're left with the pieces of your broken heart. The worst part of finding out what someone thinks of you is the realization that you've been living a lie. The truth shatters everything you thought was solid, and it leaves you questioning your worth. It's a devastating feeling to find out that the person you trusted the most never thought of you the way you thought of them. The truth has a way of breaking you in ways you never expected. I always thought I knew you, but now I see that my perception of you was just a reflection of my own desires. The truth cuts like a knife, but it also makes you see the world differently. In the end, the hardest part isn't the pain of discovering the truth, but accepting that nothing you did could have changed their feelings. The truth is final, and it hurts more than I ever imagined. I thought our bond was unbreakable, but the truth hit me like a wave. Now I'm left wondering how I could have missed the signs of how little I really meant to you. The truth doesn't just hurt in the moment. It lingers, it echoes, and it reshapes everything you believed to be true. Sometimes the most painful revelations come from the people you least expect. It's a hollow feeling when you realize that the person you trusted with your heart never saw its value. I've learned that some truths are better left unspoken, but others are impossible to ignore. I can't help but feel the sting of betrayal when I found out what you really think of me. The person I thought I knew seems like a stranger now, and the pain of that revelation is overwhelming. The moment the truth hits, it's like everything freezes. You're left standing there, trying to process how everything you believed about a person can be shattered in an instant. I never thought I'd be the one to discover the truth about how little I really mattered. But now that I know, I can't go back to pretending everything is fine. When I found out what you really thought of me, it was like a slow motion moment that I'll never forget. It's as if all the love I had for you vanished in a second, replaced with a painful truth. I gave everything I had, hoping you'd see me the way I saw you, but now I know that nothing I did was ever going to change your feelings. It's a bitter realization that I can't shake. It's hard to move on when you realize that everything you thought you knew about someone was a lie. The truth doesn't just break you, it redefines your entire understanding of who they are. Sometimes the truth isn't just hard to hear, it's hard to accept. When I found out how you really felt, it felt like my entire world turned upside down. There's nothing worse than realizing the person you thought you could trust has been hiding their true feelings all along. The truth may set you free, but first, it makes you feel utterly lost. The truth is a cruel companion. It doesn't care about your feeling or the effort you put into the relationship. When I found out what you really thought of me, it made me question everything. The hardest thing is realizing that you've been giving your all to someone who never truly appreciated it. The truth isn't always gentle. Sometimes it feels like a slap to the face. The most painful truth is the one that comes when you least expect it, the one that completely changes the way you view someone you thought you knew so well. I thought I could handle the truth, but when it came, it left me shattered. Sometimes knowing what someone truly thinks of you is harder than living in ignorance. The truth cuts deeper than any words can, and when I found out how little I really meant to you, it felt like a weight pressing down on my chest. I wish I could have known sooner. Sometimes the truth doesn't just hurt, it alters your entire perception of reality. Discovering what you really think of me has made me see everything in a different light. The pain of realizing how someone really feels is compounded by the fact that you've given so much of yourself to them. The truth, though brutal, forces you to face the reality you've been avoiding. What hurts the most is not the truth itself, but how much time you wasted believing in something that was never real. The truth is a wake up call, and it's not always kind. I thought I knew you, but the truth has shown me a side of you I never imagined existed. The pain of that realization is something I'll carry with me for a long time. It's a silent kind of pain, the kind that lingers long after you've discovered the truth about how someone really feels. It's not something you can easily forget. When I learned what you truly thought of me, it was like a door closing in my face. All the memories we shared felt distant, as if they had never existed at all. It hurts to realize that the person you gave your heart to never saw you the way you saw them. The truth has a way of making you feel like you've wasted so much time.